Let's run it.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, Vivian. This is Dante. How's it
Yes.
going?
How are you today?
I'm very good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, thank
Come on, we already know. I'm just
So,
being boring, trying to stay out of trouble.
second call?
you. Yes, it is. Uh-huh.
Oh, there we go. Is now still a good time? Dude, you already know that it's a good time.
Yeah.
All right. I know this is the first one. We got to work out these kinks. No worries.
Yeah, I was really nervous because it was my first one cold
No,
call.
that's why I'm not gonna beat you up that much. But like why I wanted to listen for the beginning because there's already a few things that we can already tweak. You know what I mean? Just like a Vivian, it's Dante here. It does look like you both on like we're texting back and forth. That you're kind of looking for more options to kind of really protect the home. Is that right? Perfect. Now you already set the frame. You know what I mean? You don't need to do the fluff. Perfect. Rip it.
That the state and the insurance companies will have me go over with you. Do
Okay.
you have something to wrap with?
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. First, they're gonna have you write down my name.
Okay.
So that
All right, skip past this stuff. Just to exit, if you could.
correct. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
me. Right.
And
Last name Barinas. B as in boy. A-R-I-N as in Nancy. A-S.
Okay.
They'll have you write down my field underwriting producer number, kind of like a badge number if I was a police officer.
All right.
Mhm.
I'm ready.
And that is 21
Mm-hmm.
04
Okay.
22 34. That's just like one track by and all that boring stuff.
Okay.
Right? And I think I might have forgotten to mention that this call is being recorded, for quality and training purposes, all that good stuff.
Okay.
Right now, the heroes
Can
gonna
I
have you.
pause real quick? This doesn't hurt you by any means. Doesn't hurt you at all doing this. But what benefit does she get for you knowing that like you're making her do this stuff? Granted, yes, she can track you, but you just left it as is. You know what I mean? You didn't give her a benefit on why she's writing this down. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people will care because you're telling them what to do. And okay, there's a few things that you're doing. Yes, they're listening, they're compliant. It's going to help you throughout the end of the call. Yes. But what benefit is she getting for you writing down this information? Now you can say a benefit for her to actually do this, but you didn't. You know what I mean? So really, she's doing this for no reason. Right.
to
Now,
her,
like, you can say like this is for me to track me. How you can soften this up and make it like real easy. It's like, hey, like real briefly, I just want you to know who you're really messing with. So I'm only gonna bore you to death for like a little bit. I want you to know my full name, my insurance license, just so like if something ever happens, you know how you can track me, making sure you know who it is. And I'm actually gonna send you a picture of me right now since we are doing this over the phone. Fair enough? Boom. If you do go that route, it actually will make it so much more easier for her to actually understand who you are. Because like if she takes down your Dante full last name, like okay, cool, like I know my agent's first and last name, but like there's no picture. You know what I mean? Like give them even more benefit of the reason why they're doing this. You know what I mean? Because now like they're just like imagining who you are. Why not just take a quick selfie, even though it'd be weird. Like, all you do is just gotta do a quick thumbs up like this and send it to them. You know what I mean? If you do choose to go this, I'm not saying you have to do this at all. I don't think
yeah.
it's necessary, but for you to build confidence and if this is the approach that you want to do, a lot of people aren't going to do this and they're going to be triggered onto why you're doing it because there's no benefit. So I want you to understand that. So if you give them the benefit of the reasons why they're doing this, you'll never have pushback.
Yeah, it does make sense. I'm doing this part probably temporarily because it buys me time and I'm still like
Okay.
getting having to get comfortable with the call
Y-
and it
Right.
builds the compliance dynamic that they do.
Yes.
Them just doing what you say. But I also did, I don't know if you want us to skip a couple minutes because it's literally this and underwriting. I know you told me to do it last, but I was going
Okay, so
crazy.
your first five. Okay, well, I love this, and Michael's on here as well. So just to recap, Michael, you're telling me your first 5 minutes is just all boring.
My
Yeah, like
first, yeah,
just
seven
intro.
minutes is just this and underwriting. Well, we were
Mm,
going over her health, yeah. But
okay,
yeah, there's no emotions on the first 8 minutes.
okay.
Boring.
I'm not like she's obviously looking, you know what I mean? So that's what helps you tremendously. A lot of people are not going to sit through that. I'm telling you. Like, I'm not saying you got lucky on this. I want you guys to be so damn good that you don't have to do this. You can actually save it for the end. I know
Mhm.
what you're doing is because you are nervous. You're doing all this stuff, so it's going to be easier for you. I 100% understand. But if you guys can work out the kinks now, it's going to be so much easier for later because what's going to happen is you're going to be so ingrained into the process right now and you're not going to be able to change because change is always hard and then you're going to screw up, then you're always going to revert back to what got you your sales, right? So if you can eliminate all the hard stuff now, I'm not saying like to do this, but I'm just saying make it if you do it early, then all the headache and stuff that you did, you mastered it already, right? To where like, oh dude, I just sold 25 policies. Why should I change, Jacob? Well, 7 minutes of boringness, let's chop it up. You know what I mean? All this stuff is actually what's hurting you on certain types of people. Now, like women are always easy. I don't know what it is. It's to me, it's always easier to sell a female. They're way more emotionally bought in because of how you can make them feel. It's really hard to make a guy feel that way because I feel like us three, like we know we're probably like a hard, not a hard ass, but like we
More
internalize
closed off.
yeah, like that's just how we are. Now, like you can expand that gap onto them when they give it to you, but when they give it to you, you have to build it because if you don't, that's your only shot to attack a man, right? Is they're gonna slip up, and that's when you slip up and you expand onto it. If you don't get them to expand on that little slip up, it's always gonna be surface level. They're not gonna internalize anything. They're gonna be like, "Don't say this was a great call. Thank you. I'm gonna think about it." But enough of that. Let's just keep working with what we're doing. Just skip it. Let's just get into what would be next. Like last of situation and like problem.
Let me.
I've had the disease. Right. Well, I've been there.
Right. And what would be the goal for the house when you pass away?
Yes, I would like to leave it for my children.
Can I pause?
Have them be the beneficiaries.
Why didn't you ask that before? I know your nerves, but like that's a great question just to keep rolling right into it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, Vivian, it's just Dante here. Looks like you possibly booked on the calendar. We were texting back and forth, but it possibly looks like that we set up a time here to kind of go over the mortgage and how we can actually help protect the home if something were to happen. Is that right? Yes. Okay, yeah, like so kind of like walk me through like what is the overarching goal? Like what are we really trying to get out of this? What can I help you? Instead of that 7 minutes, you can save that 7 minutes to the very end. You know what I mean? You see how that question, you can just fill it in right there. That's why I paused you right there. Great question. Because she opened,
Yeah, that's
you
good for
know,
your overarching goal. Yeah.
yeah, like so right there, boom, you ask that, and then like you just keep going down the way. So like what sort of financial safety net do you have in place? Now you're in it. Now like all this 7 minutes of like who's Dante? Why the fuck am I on this call? You know what I mean? That's not saying like a huge issue, but I just from experience, this will work probably 40% of the time. Now I can't say maybe there's a higher odds, but I can say you are going to lose a lot of people, and it's not because of questions and stuff. It's the very beginning. Like they're going to think this is going to be such a long call and they're going to tune out. And they're already so tuned out to when you actually start asking questions, it's going to hard to buy back their mind in because a lot of people are going to start to walk around. They're going to start to do shit. Out of curiosity, did she do that? Like, did you hear her moving around or did she kind of sit still?
No, she did sat still. And it was a call that I thought this prospect could have been closed easily, but I couldn't close her on the spot.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
she got through it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she was there. Like, you know what I mean?
and the
Like,
call went well. Emotions and everything.
I was gonna say, like I can tell, like you went through it. It worked well. I just want you guys to get so damn good. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, appreciate
But
it.
but keep going because like that question is exactly how you can just go straight. What I'm just trying to help suggest, how can you eliminate that fluff to just like start getting right into it, right? Just keep
Yeah.
going.
Now
So-
we would start getting good.
yeah,
Okay.
I love it.
And the idea will be for them to live there or maybe sell it, or what are your thoughts there?
The one in Georgia, I'm thinking they probably would want to sell it or keep it as a rental property and rent it out, but be able to have some ownership of it to do with it what they want.
Basically, you just want to give them the options to do
Pause.
whatever they want with it and like not have to pick up on.
Have her say that. So what do you think you could have said for her to have exactly what you said? So turn that statement into a question. How could you have done that?
To get her to say that she just wants the kids to have options and on home.
Yeah, I just want my son in Georgia to either sell it or maybe use it as a rental property. Why is that? How come like that's so important to you? Where does that awareness come from? Why would you want to do that? Like most people just kind of sell it, right?
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
go ahead.
oh, well, the only reason I say that is because then she's going to answer the question and it's going to go in a whole different direction because she's going to be talking about why she wants to have the home coverage and exactly helping her think why she's like actually is looking for mortgage protection, right?
Yeah. We do get there right after this question, and
hmm
we get into her story and everything.
Okay. It would just been a good attack right there.
Right.
Just when someone starts taking ownership, like anything, when they start taking ownership of like the reasons why they're doing something, you either want to clarify why, then they tell you even more. You know what I mean? Like why that's so important is because they're telling you exactly why they're on this call. They're telling you exactly why they need this. You don't want to assume it because they're just going to say, "Yes." There's no power to that, right? That's it. Because then now you can actually start going, oh, how long have you felt that way? Oh, you know, like there's so many different
Yeah.
approaches that you can actually go into this to actually expand the problem way more just simply off that question. Because right there, just hypothetically, if a male said that and you didn't attack it, it wouldn't have worked. You know what I mean? That's where listening and like because right there is going to be the start of the problem, right? Is because she's wants to have her son to use this as a rental property. Well, why is that? Because you don't have to. Well, because I want to do this, this, and this for him. Oh, how come like that's so important, Vivian? Oh, because like like my mom like did this for me and I didn't even appreciate it. Oh, appreciate it? How do you mean? Well, because she did this and this. Oh, so where does that, besides that, like from your mom doing that for you, like where does that awareness to come from to be like, I want to do the same for my son? Like, where does that come from? Just life, and I just want to have him a better life. Oh, it's just like you're probing, you know what I mean? And then
Mm-hmm.
just actually expanding on the whole problem. And all you're doing is saying, how so? In what way? Why? How come that's so important? That's it. And then like, and I guess like, how long has this like really been a thought on your mind to actually get this? Oh, just a few months. And without like, and with what happened with your mom, what being able to kind of take take care of that. Like what like why are you hopping on a call now? Why not hopped on a call a year, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
There's so many different
We
boom.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's why like I paused you right there. I know you get into it, but like that subtle thing is what will allow you to open up the call so much more.
Attacking it like right at the moment they open up like the breach for her.
Soon as they give you the problem, you
Mhm.
have to go into it because like I would love like we're obviously gonna play this out, but I would like it's not what's the best way of putting it? Okay, you're playing baseball, all right, and someone threw one in the wheelhouse, and you're just like eyeing it up. You're not gonna let it. You're just not gonna take it as a ball, right? You're gonna swing and smoke it, right? That's exactly what this is. It's someone throwing you a fucking sweet one right in your wheelhouse. You're cocked back, and it's acting like if you didn't swing. That's how much of you just missed your opportunity, right? Not saying you didn't, but right there will allow you to get way deeper and ask the questions that you probably do ask in such a
Mhm.
better way.
Yeah. No, I agree,
Now,
100%.
does that make sense for everybody or questions?
No, it makes sense. Yeah, I feel like sometimes we think we can skip over it and try to come back around later, which sometimes I guess that might work, but yeah, like emotions are touchy.
Yeah, like it's not gonna. And I want to circle back because you mentioned your mom. How do you appreciate that? You mean it just doesn't make sense. It's just think of a baseball, or it's hitting you right in your sweet spot. Smoke it, smoke it right then and there, so you can hit that home run and not a fucking bunt. All right, hit play. As long as you guys are okay with this, we'll just keep doing this.
Yeah.
On the mortgage if you're not here.
Right.
Okay. Well, I want to say, and how long I'm sorry, not how old are your kids?
They're 54 and 53.
I see. Well, I want to say good for you for being smart enough to get prepared now and like look out after your kids. I talk to a lot of people and everyone loves their family, but
Mm-hmm.
some people though they just like hope and pray that something never happens, and then when it does, it's like now what? You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Can I ask how come this is uh so important to you?
Well, I just remember, I think in our family, we have a history of
Pause. That
passing
was really
from,
good because of the question. But if you would have asked all those stuff in the beginning, she would have been able to expand that. And then when you ask that, like, like the identity frame, she would have been like, Dante, I fucking love you. Like, I need to get this. Uh, you can skip all this. I would love to hear the very end on what happened, like the last like 3 minutes, because I think you probably handle all this very smoothly. Or is there another touch point that you would want me to listen on that you have written down?
Yeah, right this minute actually through minute 11. So next minute, I
Okay,
have some things I would have done differently. So I want you to maybe listen to it and then tell you my thoughts.
perfect.
wealth somehow or another through property. And when
Oh,
my mother did that, I just thought it was such a great idea, although I probably didn't appreciate it that much at the time. But I
oh,
can see the value of it, and I know I just would like to have, I just would like for not all of my work to go in vain, I guess.
no, that's smart. And
Mhm.
how you mean like 'cause your mom passed her house down to you, right? Paid off.
Yes. It was down to there were four of us, so it was paid off.
Okay.
And
You say you didn't appreciate it as
well,
much?
it wasn't that I guess I was young, and so I didn't realize what she was really doing.
Like the sacrifice it entails.
Hmm.
And I'm assuming now you just like you respect her much more now because you know what she did and
Here's when I feel I made a mistake because I'm saying instead of asking her, because instead of saying me like now you respect it much more, I think I should have asked like, well, now you're more mature and have your own children. How you feel about like what your mom did for you?
I think if you listen back to 851 and you do everything that I said, all that would have happened right there. And then when you identity framed her, you would have got so much more out of that. So what I'm suggesting is, as soon as they give you the problem, you start asking questions. If I was listening and you wanted to make a small tweak, she started rambling, because she said, yeah, I didn't really appreciate the value. Oh, value? How do you mean? Then that would like, even if you missed all that in the beginning, and you right there, she even gave you another softball. You know what I mean? That you're just fucking smoking it, and you completely missed it. Uh, just because you're listening, the nerves, all that's kicking in, completely fine. But she said, I didn't appreciate the value. Oh, the value? How do you mean? And then she would have expanded on the value of what her mom did for her. Oh, so I guess, like, I hope helping your two sons, like, where does that come from? Like, like, aside your mom doing that for you, like, why are you doing it for them? Because you don't have to. You know what I mean? Lean out a little. You know what I'm saying? And then she said, no, I want to do the same because my mom did this for us. Oh, that's really amazing to hear that, because like a lot of people don't. You know what I mean? And then now you can be out of it because she fully understands everything. Does that make way more sense on like what I'm trying to get at, of you attacking everything earlier instead of waiting? Because if
Mhm.
you hit it head on, everything will expand and come out uh into her situation. Because if you keep delaying it, and then like you saying it and she just says yes, there's no power, and you already know that, right?
Yeah.
So like very very well listening to when they give you the opportunity to go like start probing and clarifying. Oh, how long have you felt that way? Oh, and with your mom did that a few years back, like, and you kind of looking now like, well, like what are the possible ramifications if you don't get the house paid off? Like what happens to your two boys? You know what I mean? Like if you really wanted to, right?
Mhm.
I guess, like, do you see like where I'm trying to come at from, like hitting it head on so it all comes out instead of you waiting for them to tell you?
It makes a lot of sense, and I completely agree. It's just part of the process of me getting
Yeah,
more and more
right.
away from the script and becoming more flexible.
Mhm.
Because when she gave me the problem, I just want them to be able to use it for rental or do whatever they want with it. We have on the script to recap the goal, so I have to break that habit. Even though I wasn't looking at the script on that call, I got to break the habit of recapping what they said and now going into the more advance of attacking it.
Because like, and it's not like crazy stuff. All you do is get what they mean by it. Because like, instead of you assuming it, like, how do you mean, Dante? Like when you say like you want to leave it for the rentals, how so? Oh, because this. Oh, well, why is that? And like you're curious, and it's not like, why is that? You know what I mean? It's like,
Mhm.
why though? You know what I mean? Like you have like way more empathy and a little more excitement into it, so it's not like such a hard question for them to answer. Because if you go like, why though? You know what I mean? Is it has a completely different meaning. It's like, why is
Mhm.
that? You know what I mean? It's like way more like, oh, because this and this. You know what I mean? You take a step back and you say like, how
It's
so?
disarming the way you're asking it.
Yeah, like so much more in a way that they're like feel so more open to answer your question, even though like you're actually attacking it. This like you know what I mean? And then
Mhm.
it's like, and then you build them up. Like not like build them up in a way, but it's like, dude, like I don't really talk to so many people like you, uh, Vivian, and I'm just very curious. Is like, how come like this is so important to you now, like, as that provider that you are? Like, really, why are you trying to protect the two boys? Oh, because my mom did this for us. How do you mean? Oh, because she actually took the and I appreciated, and I didn't really appreciate the value in what way? She did this and this for us for. Oh, and just making sure we're on the same page. Like, you really want to do that for your two boys? Yes. Silly question, but what? Like, why are you hopping on a call now? Why haven't you done this a year ago? You know what I mean? If you had the duration, I just feel like it's time. I've just been busy. You know what I mean? More of the underlying problems are actually going to start to unfold.
Yeah, we got to that part, and I even did something like I've heard you say like the are you okay with me saying that? Because she has been procrastinating for like 2 years. I was like, yeah, the trap I don't want us to fall under is like knowing we could have done something and maybe something happened sooner than you expected and now it's too late to take your boys. Are you okay with me saying that? And she was, I need to do something now.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. And like I know these questions work. And that's why like I'm trying to beat them into you guys, because this is what's going to help you guys get so much better so much quicker.